Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Alright, good evening there, race fans. We're here tonight with the Sim500 Ford Entertainment Group Xfinity Series Iowa. Kind of shorter track than what we're used to seeing here there, Alex.
Yeah, what? Right after Milo the Moose didn't let us down last week in New Hampshire with that super exciting green-white checkered finish, we roll over to Iowa.
I know, that is right. I mean, you know, we came off of the New Hampshire race, and like you said, I mean, the whole race went what? Green flagged, and right there at the end had a green-white checkered. So that was an exciting finish. But it looks like Trey Edson put it on pole. Wow, I don't think I've seen Trey run too many races this season here on the Xfinity side of it. Obviously, Justin Fuller right there behind him, so a good run. And I know we were talking earlier about Daniel Falkenham. I haven't seen him in the last couple weeks here. I don't know. I hope everything's all right with him. And which I know some of these guys don't run full time here in the Xfinity Series because there's many different series in the here at the Sim500 that these guys can run.
Yeah, I'm not sure where he's been either, but like I said when we were talking before, just shows up, definitely shows up to race every time he's on the track. But we just haven't seen him. Just kind of wondering where he's at, what he's up
Absolutely. To. All right, well, I'll tell you what, guys, man, are fanning out here a little bit. Iowa. I'm not really, I know they run the trucks and all here, and they do run the Xfinity cars, I believe, in real life here. Not 100%, up to par speed on what the track is. It does look fairly big. I'm gonna say it's a mile track.
So it comes out to, I believe, 7/8 of a mile. It's a D-shaped
oval. Okay, so it's not
so
it's not a mile. It just looks, we've talked about it a couple times, Alex, how tracks look. And that's funny because I would have thought this, last week was New Hampshire, didn't look like a mile or whatever. But this track here, man, looks big, but then you're talking about now it's only like 3/4 of a mile.
Yeah, so I think the big factor, we'll just do it New Hampshire to this one. Big factor, this one's got banking. New Hampshire, not so much.
Yeah, and wider. This one looks wider.
Yeah, so she's in the turns, you got like 12 to 14 degree banking progressively.
Oh, okay.
Kind of reminds me of a Richmond or a small Michigan, I'll say, one of those D-shaped oval tracks.
Place cars in, going green flag. We'll get into more of that here soon as the race goes on. Trey Edson, Justin Fuller, they pull it out front. Here we go, heading off into turn one, folks. Everybody's kind of side by side. Not quite sure what the groove like will be here. I don't know if it's a multi-style groove, but to see which one's going to be more dominant. If I had to go off of anything, I'm going to say middle to high probably. But you never know with that low line. Right now it looks pretty, kind of guys looking like they can spread out a little bit. So a lot of good racing all the way through the pack here, Alex.
Yeah, I think just looking at that lap, seeing the different lines that people are taking, because, I mean, you got Justin Fuller holding up his own on the outside up there, and Trey Edson himself holding it down low. It looks like Justin Fuller makes that by him up for the lead. But it looks like, looking at how these guys are kind of fanning out, I think that we might have some sort of multi-groove kind of thing going on, and that could very well pose us for some exciting racing here tonight.
It could be, and I think, right now with the newer tires, obviously you can put the cars pretty much anywhere you want. You see David Comstock right there in the 7th place spot. Just watching that battle in front of him with Chad Coleman, Robert Gillenwater. They've been duking out for a while, but you can kind of see everybody is trying to get kind of single file, and it looks like it's going to be an upper style groove track for the moment. There they go kind of low on it, but I think right now the passing lane is maybe that middle groove is what I'm seeing. But we'll just have to see how it goes on. Again, when these guys get kind of spread out, you'll see these little clusters like this right here, and you'll see a guy maybe like shoot by someone. Lap times, we love talking about lap times. And we look at the leader with a 24.76. Well, if you go through the field all the way to 21st place, it's only 25.05. I mean, Alex, you know and I know that's only what? That's only a quarter of a second. You're not going to see anybody fly through the field with that.
Yeah, that ain't much. That's like, just about 4/10-ish?
Mm-hmm.
That's not much. That's barely enough to pass a guy. We talk about it all the time.
And you can see, like, right there, that battle right there. I mean, you're going to see that's Jeff Hogsworth riding with Eric Arnold. He's got the best seat in the house with it. You can just kind of see how hard it is to pass, and then you can see Eric right there is kind of stuck. So, and there's about the one way you're going to get the pass. Bump him a little bit.
Yeah, I think here, I mean, you can definitely do a bump and run kind of thing, but I think it's a little too early to be pulling that out of the old toolbox.
Yeah, and we talk about it here. This track's kind of unique because normally with short tracks we talk about the bump and run, and I'm all for it if done right. But this track is really high speed, high bank style short track, and it could be really dangerous to do a bump and run because you almost could send somebody spinning. So we'll have to see what happens there. But they're back at it again. Eric Arnold, Steve Ritter right there, and then you see the battle in front of him, Jeff Hogsworth and Scott Simley.
Yeah, I think with the banking, it definitely will not help if you try and use that bump and run. Like you said, you're probably just going to send that dude way up there, and he's probably not going to be able to hold it, keep it under wraps. That's just kind of what I'm thinking about it. But like you said, with the banking here, these guys are just slinging it around, and I think it is a very quick track here. I mean, what lap time, 20, 21 seconds, something like that?
25 right now, 25.
25. So
Still
it's
quick.
a quick track, definitely.
Like I said, for a short track, yeah. Quick, speed-wise, going around here. So we're seeing some good battles. Got E.J. O'Rourke right there, and it's like Scott Simley's trying to move up to the field. And he is using that middle to high groove. That's what it looks like right now. He's picking them off one by one, and I think that's what we're going to see. If a guy's, going to start coming through the field, you're going to see guys better on the long run, guys better on the short run. If anybody starts, passing, I think it'll be like like a one by one, like you see right there with Jeff, Eric. Yeah, Jeff Hollingsworth. You're just going to have to battle with a guy for a couple laps. You see EJ right there, all kind of sideways, and that's Jeff too.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Joe. I think once it gets to that point, as we close some of these laps, I mean, we're only on lap 12 out of the 140 we got tonight, so I don't think we'll really start seeing the big movers for a little bit. But
True.
This group of guys, you see it every week. You get those guys that fly through the field on those longer runs, because here in this league, you get those long runs. Make this point every week. You do a great job of keeping things under the wraps and racing each other hard, good, and clean. So, but they always make for some exciting racing here.
They do. You know, you mentioned that right there. You talk about they having long style runs here. I mean, you can't iterate it enough. I mean, they do. You see, still a good little battle right here with Eric Arnold. That's kind of leads where the best battle of the track is right now. But yeah, I mean, these guys they've raced around each other for long enough, and I mean, you're still going to have some cautions. I mean, last week we went all the way through, and then there at the end, just unfortunate. But still, it was only a green-white checkered. That race was pretty well set.
Yeah, it was. We definitely got a couple different strategies there for that green-white checker. We got a couple guys didn't even pit. Some people took 2, some people took 4, and that was a nail biter at the end right there. But right here, it looks like Mike Kelly and Eric Arnold trying to come in on Hollinsworth, crack that top 10. Seems like this top 10 spot's a pretty
that a couple of weeks ago, didn't we?
Pretty heavy spot. Gets pretty exciting around that getting into that top 10 spot right here. As you see, you got a good group of guys right here trying to make their way up.
Yeah, you're right there. That's a good battle.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's always like that 10th place spot. You always get a little cluster of guys, and it's just the whole race, man. You could fan away for 15, 20 laps. You come back to that 10th place spot, you got a group of guys fighting for it.
Yeah, it seems like everybody wants to crack into that top 10, like you said right there. So, good run by these guys, and right now, just everybody's just kind of being patient.
Looks like Hollinsworth dipped down coming into the pits. I wonder what's up with that.
He is in the pits. If we got any contact or not, but yeah, on pit road kind of early for that one, because you know, and I know here to go back up front here with Justin Fuller's still leading, Trey Etzen there behind him with Tommy Ryan closing in. But you know, and I know they run 100% fuel here, so fuel usually probably won't be the factor. Tires probably will. You see Trey Etzen closing back in on Justin Fuller.
Yeah, Justin Fuller got himself out to a nice little lead those opening laps, and now here comes Trey and Tommy coming up behind him, utilizing that middle high groove, kind of seeing what they can get done. That looks like, I like that number 5 car. That looks like a nice little car right there.
It is. Car. I'm just trying to think. I don't think I've seen Trey run the series. He's regular on their Cup Series and whatnot. And a lot of these guys definitely run their Cup Series on Monday night, Premier Series there. So definitely a fast driver, can get it done. You know, Justin's a fast driver here too, but well, he has a harassing the leader right now trying to get it back.
Yeah, I haven't seen. Well, I'll put it this way: Trey Etzen does not have a frequent Flyers card here, from what I've noticed. But I've seen him a couple times, and now here he is battling for the lead. Now taking that inside line on Justin Fuller, seeing what he can do. The outside line just seems to be pretty strong, especially coming off the corners. You know, and I know usually that outside line gets a little better of a run. I mean, especially on way bigger tracks, but you got a 7/8 of a mile track like this one. Still seems to work out a little bit, but you could get that multi-groove style kind of stuff going on, and it won't be as prevalent as those bigger tracks, just because you ain't got as much space to work with on the straightaways.
Yeah, true. You see Tommy closing in too, so Fuller gets in the wall there. That's going to help out Trey. But here's the thing: Trey had to check up a little bit because it's how close they are, and a lot of times what can happen is a guy in front of you right there, like the leader, getting to the wall. You actually could be in second place, and he slopes so bad you can get right into the back end of him because you can't react fast enough.
Yeah, that'd be bad news bears right there. I kind of think that's what happened to Hollinsworth a couple laps ago. That might have been why he came in the pits, because it looked like coming off turn 2, looks like either he bounced off the wall or slung that thing to the inside, because he dipped down quick right off of turn 2 on the backstretch. So maybe that's what happened. Still not quite sure. But these guys are putting some space between these three and fourth place Jose Gonzalez back there.
Yeah, and right there you see Fuller. And he is way down the apron. I don't know if he's looking like he might go into the pits. Nope. Maybe a little gunshot, but he took that line you normally see him take on Michigan. Go down low, man, and let that thing drift way up the track.
Yeah, this thing's about more than a mile smaller than Michigan. Same shape, but it's a lot smaller. But these guys are just, I think they're really trying to get right here, especially in, I guess you could say this, I'll call it a three-way battle because Tommy Ryan's right there and he has been right there. I think they're each just plugging and playing, seeing which lane works the best for them for the position that they're in. Looks like Trey just slides right in front of Justin Fuller right there. And I think that's what they're doing. They're kind of just plugging and playing, see where they work best in these battles, because you'll get, I mean, you're the leader. You're going to throw people through a loop. That's kind of what I think they're doing, too. They're throwing them through a loop, the people behind them, making them be reactive instead of proactive on the track, which, definitely can throw some wrenches in the plans.
And I've always said, too, Justin Fuller's one of those guys that just, one speed wide open most of the time. He's worked on it a couple times throughout the season, in years and whatnot, and he's gotten better. But, he still just likes flat out, and you can kind of see it there. Maybe just run those tires, run them a little bit hard. Trey bided his time. Now he's able to get back behind him. You see Jose there, and, Jose, well, we talk about Jose. He's sitting there in fourth. Tommy Ryan's actually in third, so as I mentioned. But Jose Gonzalez hanging on to fourth place. He's won 2 this season so far.
Yeah, he just came off that win, 2 weeks ago, I believe?
Yeah, a couple weeks ago, yeah.
Definitely put some racing fuel in that meatball truck of his.
Yes, he has. Looking good, too. You got Robert Gillenwater there behind him, and David Comstock. So you got some fast guys, Chad Coleman. Everybody looks a little split out. You go back here to this 10th place spot. Guess what? They back there again. Here comes Josh Parker. He's trying to get up there near that 10th place, but Mike Kelly, EJ, and all those guys right there around 10th place still battling.
I don't even remember seeing where Josh Parker started, but this is what he does. The guy just, Randy Orton RKO comes out of nowhere on the track, and he gets it done. He just, I don't know what he does or how he does it. It happens. Here he is trying to crack that top 10 right here. Got Mike Kelly in his sights in front of him, that number 2. We'll see if he can make it up there. Mike Kelly's been, these guys have been changing out, kind of rolling around. EJ's been floating around there. Mike Kelly, Scott Simley, who I believe is our current points leader, actually, for the series.
Yeah. You see Mike Kelly right there trying to work over EJ. I'd say that's around about the 9th and 8th and 9th, 10th place spot.
Yeah, these guys are, like you were saying, pretty single file until you get into these battles. And I could definitely see it, because you see it sometimes going around. If you're watching some of these guys, you'll see those guys that are strong in 1 and 2 at a certain line, different in 3 and 4 on a certain line. And I think some of them are still figuring it out, especially in these battles. Like I touched on that battle with the leaders earlier. So I kind of think that's what everyone's trying to really figure out. As Josh Parker's closing in, you could just see him. And that green Interstate 18 right there, chewing up the track, catching up to these guys. We'll see how he looks in a battle, though, here relatively soon, because he's been catching them. But is he fast enough to make the passes?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, you can see EJ right there now working over. I mean, this is, again, we talk about battles. Usually it's around about that 10th place spot. See, Josh Parker's moving in on it too.
Yeah, I think we got what, 11th through 8th right here. Hot spot on the scoreboard very frequently, and it goes to show right here again. And I don't think this is going to be the end of it either.
No, like I said, right there, I got a 3-car battle. See Mike Kelly move on the back end there, VJ. Just for the moment, Josh Parker back there looking. Yep, there goes Mike on the inside of him. Is he going to be able to take that spot away? He might take 2.
Kind of use Scott Simley as a little pick for EJ right there. See if he can close that inside line so EJ can't really come down that much. See if he can make it work here. But I think this low line, and I think this low line's a little hard to run. I think that's where you're really going to eat up your tires if you keep running that low line. And we bring it up a lot, tire management. And you brought it up earlier. Fuel ain't really the primary factor during these long green flag runs. What, we're almost lap 40 already. But tires, managing those tires, and that's kind of what I think is going to happen. You run that low line, you're going to eat them up a little bit more than those guys that are running that middle high groove. And now Josh Parker's back up here in the mix, side by side with Mike Kelly, going into 1 and 2.
Yep. Well, Josh, man, he just pulled in. Now you got about a 4-car battle for that 10th place spot. Like I said, 10th place in the last couple of weeks been a hot spot.
Oh, yeah. And those guys in front of them. Man, I've been seeing the same thing. That 10th place battle. Really, really hot. Looks like Mike Kelly's either backing off. Looks like he might have gotten to the back of EJ a little bit. He had to check up a little bit and really threw off his momentum. I think momentum here is another factor that really plays in. Usually at these mile-ish tracks, give or take a quarter of a mile either way or whatever. I think momentum is a huge thing at these tracks. You can see, I think Mike Kelly got in the back of EJ right there, and he had to check up. And that's what allowed Josh Parker to come up, take both that position from Mike and Scott Simley right there. So now he's got to work over EJ, see if he can make some more progress on that group in front of him.
Absolutely. Here comes EJ on the outside. He's going to battle, but boy, Josh Parker made it through that field. He's up to 9th, or actually up to 8th right now as he clears the pack. EJ's behind him. Mike Kelly's right there. So, again, a 10th place spot, a hot spot. And in the meantime, Tommy Ryan made it around Justin Fuller, who's fallen off the pace a little bit. You got Jose, Robert Gillenwater, and David Comstock. They're going to work over Robert Gillenwater.
Yeah, I think this about 4th to 7th place spot right here has been pretty, I feel like they've been pretty even, mostly, but now you got David Comstock right here, like you said, coming up on old Robert G.
Yeah, and what you're seeing too here, you see David moving in. He's moving in slowly. It's not like you're just flying up on the back end of him, going to pass him. And basically, that's guys that are better on this long run, because we're on a pretty good long run, a lap, with 48 or whatnot. So we're on a pretty good long run. And so you can kind of tell that's what David Comstock's a little bit better than probably Robert on the longer run, just not that over the top better. So he's just not, pulling on the back end. And that's why you see him kind of close in, except for back here again for 10th place, which these guys are just Again, battling hard.
It's a never-ending cycle. Ooh, that was kind of close right there.
Then you see EJ, man, bobble.
Yeah, that little squiggle off the turn. But I think
Good battle between them two, man.
I'll hit on the tire management thing again.
All right.
I'll jump to the top 3 right now. Like you said, ooh, there they go again. Those guys are racing super hard.
Yeah,
we're just all over the place.
Yeah, we're looking back here, but yeah, we'll put on here for a second. Yeah, you talk about the tires.
I think with Justin Fuller racing as hard as he does, because like you always say, he just got one speed, and that's wide open. That's just one gear in his gearbox, and that is flat out. I don't think that really pays dividends to his tires. I think it wears out his tires.
But I'm gonna tell you what, he's able to control that thing. I'll give him credit.
He's got the extra spring and that one extra screw in the steering wheel. I don't know how he does it. He does a good job of it, despite probably maintaining his tires decently less than the rest of the field. He still comes out with these great finishes, man. But that's just kind of my, I don't want to call it do I want to call it a prediction? Kind of a prescription? I don't know. But I kind of think that's what happens. But once he's on those fresh tires, man, that guy is gone.
Yes. Well, we see back behind him, boys, talking about the David Comstock, and we'll go back here around 10. So it looks like they've spread up just a little bit. Mike was able to get around him. So the battle's on from around 11th to 12th. That's Scott Simley and Steve Ritter. My bad. I'm sorry, guys. I got that all wrong. Right there in 11th to 12th, Eric Arnold, Anthony Calatoni. So the field's kind of splitting up a little bit, and and I know what's going to happen is even though they might split up eventually, they're going to kind of cluster right back up here soon.
Yeah, maybe they got wind of us talking about it. We're like, hey, let's give that 10th place spot a little break.
Well, that's kind of what they do here, though. I mean, this league, now you got your battle right here for around about 5th place spot. But, that's kind of what, that's kind of what happens here. These guys are just really, really good on the track. I mean, I don't really have the word to say. And really respectful around each other. You see this, they start to get spread out, and they just have some long, awesome green flag runs.
And with those green flag runs, Joe, definitely comes some off-the-wall strategy. Say, for example, we go flag to flag,
Sure. You just jinxed it, but that's not.
Yeah, I'm surprised nothing's happened yet, after all we've been talking about. But, why'd you say that? It was fine until you said that it was jinxed.
I know. Anthony Calatoni around. Going to replay, see what happened to him. He's out there by himself. Oh, he's blinking. That's what it was.
That doesn't help
connection.
Anybody.
One of them connection problems, it looks like. So, caution. Well, I know. So now the question is, though, not quite halfway.
Yeah,
might put a kink in your pit stop plans, because a lot of these guys go well past halfway.
Yeah, I think you send it and try and go the rest.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if you're the leader up there, what do? You pit? Which we might get that answer here soon. So it looks like he's going to pit. Never mind. Most of the field is. I mean, you get 3 sets of tires here. Normally, these guys don't even hardly use 2. So,
yeah, like,
why not come in here and let's see, we're at lap 56. Top it off of fuel. 70 would be halfway, so you'd have to go 70 laps. Plus, excuse me, folks, I don't know why I'm yawning.
I'm tired.
84 laps would be the number. So that would be 14 past halfway, and Tommy Ryan looks like he's got a speeding penalty on pit road. Something's wrong, because, boy, his pit stop was slow.
I'm kind of wondering what the realio dealio was with that.
I don't know, but he lost all kinds of time, and that's going to hurt. He's back 14th. Came in, what, third? Wow.
Second?
Second or third, so, yeah. That hurts.
Everyone take 4 tires too?
Yep.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. That, the way this race has been playing out, that's going to be a tough one on his end. And, I mean, you've got, Jose was able to leapfrog up to the second place spot. Trey's out front. Justin right there in third. All right. So I'm going to say there's going to be somebody out here go the distance.
That's what I'm thinking too. Because you got what? Probably another 2 laps under caution?
Yeah. So
I'm guessing.
If and we've seen it many a times, you know, we always say halfway is usually when they pit or so forth. But we know they can go further. And I'm going to say they could go 80 laps. I'm going to stretch it out and say they could probably go 80 laps. Tires might not be happy, but they could go probably fuel-wise 80 laps. And that's going to be the magic number, I think, here by the time we get back going green. 80, 82, somewhere in that area. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say unless another caution falls, okay, here in the next 10, 20 laps or so, everybody's going to stay, most everybody going to stay out. Now, if you're back, let's say, in the 15th, 14th place spot, you might think about coming in 4 tires and seeing if you can make up time. I don't know. Maybe.
I think that's a big task.
Well, John, last week we was in New Hampshire, and we went the whole race, and with 3 to go, 4 to go, had a caution, and we had a green-white checkered. So there you go. I mean, pretty much almost went the whole way. Now that caution there, though, I really don't chalk that up as to that's kind of like, it was a weird one, that looks like that was more of a internet thing or iRacing thing. So what's it up to, John? We're going back green.
So 1 more lap's under caution.
Yeah.
I think it's hit or miss with the tracks that won't throw a caution for like a single car out of the way spin. Jose looks like he didn't get going too quick. Trey and Justin just went zoop zoop.
Yeah, did.
Down.
So Justin right there was able to get in front of him. You see behind him, you got David and Chad Coleman battling it out, but just kind of what we saw on the start to begin with. Kind of guys just figuring out what they want to go till they get single file. A lot of good side-by-side racing throughout the field. And right here's around about the 4th, 5th place spot.
And here's Josh Parker too. 7th place right now.
Yeah, you're right, John. John said it right out there. Iowa's one of these that it's a short track, but thinks it's an intermediate. And we were talking about that earlier because it looks big. But it's not big, but it's wide. It's fast.
Yeah, it is. I think it's a pretty quick track.
For short track, yeah. I think it just gives that appearance is why. It's because it's got the, like you said, the bankings earlier, and it's just how wide it is. It's just it looks bigger than what it is. You see Josh Barker here. He's trying to get up through the field pretty good.
Yeah, he's trying to make do. He's usually got one of those better I guess you could say a longer run-ish car.
Now, you had to guess any of these cars, who you think off the top of your head might try to just pull this thing off and go the whole entire distance?
Are you asking me?
Well, yeah.
I'm going to say definitely Josh Parker.
All right. Josh's a good one there.
He did it last week. He went like, what, 20-some laps farther than everybody else.
Jose! Ooh. Get turned along with EJ. Caution out. See what happened. They were right there mixing it up hard. See if maybe a little contact. I don't know. That was... Oh, Jose was going sideways and EJ was kind of helping him. That was close there. Caution.
Another one.
Now, that question I asked could mix it up because here, this caution is going to help them tire fuel wise. So, I'm going to let him say, all your leaders are probably just going to take this to the end. Trey, Justin, David, and all those guys.
I concur with that statement. Definitely.
But you do see guys like in the back here, like I said, around about 11th on back with EJ, Eric, Calatoni, Livingston, Ryan, Gonzalez, Wilco. They're all pitting. And with them pitting, they're going to be on a newer set of tires that they put 4 tires on, which will definitely help them out. And remember we talked about Tommy Ryan? That's up on pit road. Well, he's up to 10th. So that caution helped him out.
Ho, 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 ho.
But now we're going to see just how much faster. It looks like EJ didn't put tires on. He just got fuel. I don't understand that call. I would have. You might as well. It's on a caution. You're already back there in the back. Might as well put 4 tires on. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I probably would have threw 4 new tires on there and just
Yeah, because see, you got to make up a lot of ground now. You're back at 11th.
But yeah, what? Those will be, what, 8-lap newer tires? Something like that?
Would have been, yeah. And I mean, that could be crucial if we're talking about sitting here talking about guys going the full distance. It would all depend on how much those tires fall off at the end. If it's one of these tracks where track position is better than, tire wear, because, again, we've seen tracks like that. A lot of times short tracks aren't like that. But this short track here seems to favor track position. Most of your short tracks, though, do favor tires and whatnot, for the most part. Most of your intermediate tracks are the ones we talk about, track position and whatnot like that. Maybe a mile track or the mile and a half are the ones, but usually anything like 3/4 and all, it's usually tires are huge.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering where like the big fall off really happens with tires. Once you're like, here we go.
And then you're interested to bring that up because we haven't really seen it. We did have that long green flag run at the beginning, but the problem is we didn't have anybody that was on opposite set of tires. Like one was on newer, one was on like 10 or 15 lap older. Everybody was equal, so we really didn't see what the fall off would have been. Now I will tell you, from what they ran in qualifying, which was like 24:52, they were running 25-second lap time. So it was about a second. It looked like it fell off over the course of the run. It might not be as bad of a fall off as we think, and if so, then really coming through the field, you're just going to need help. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think we'll just have to kind of see how things are going to play out here.
And that's interesting there, John. You brought up two tires. I'm with you on that. A lot of people do the 2 tires to get track position. On a track like this, I think the 2 tires would loosen this car up. You're already loose a lot here. We've seen a lot of guys get loose later on. If they're going to run these things as long as they're going to have to go to the end, which, fuel is not an issue. They run 100% fuel. You could go 80 some laps, I believe, here easily. It's the tires that I'm looking at. They went, what, about 50 some laps before? Let's have to see. Here we go. What's that word you like using? Chess match all the time?
You know it.
Yeah. Green flag. Back racing. Trey gets a good jump out front. You got Justin right there with David Comstock. Robert Gillenwater. Everybody stacked up 2 by 2 all the way back.
You got Chad Coleman up here too. Josh Parker, Mike Kelly.
Yeah, and that's
EJ,
pretty much
Steve
everybody just
Ray.
trying to get position.
Yeah, we're gonna see
There's
a
that
bunch of
10th place
mumbo
spot
jumbo.
again.
What, they were like three wide right there for a second.
I know, that's a hot spot.
I don't know what it is, man. It's like that position on the scoreboard just got a magnet for action.
Ooh, look at that run there he got right there. Man, he almost ran over Tommy Ryan sitting right there in 9th place spot.
That guy came cooking.
He did. He got a good run. Everybody checked up in front of him. Good heads up on Eric's part right there, not to run him over. And you see Tommy eating up the back end of Steve Ritter for 8th place. So, again, it's the 10th place spot, folks. We talk about, just seems like week in and week out. These guys just tear each other apart for that 10th place spot. You see Tommy go way high. That car pushed. Sorry about my voice out there, folks. Man, I don't want him choking up here today.
Some warm milk and honey.
Yeah, there you go. And no, I don't got the Rona.
Oh, but it's a valid question to ask.
Right. Yeah. Got a knot on my head, too. Tommy Ryan coming through the field. Remember, he had that pit stop that for some reason, I don't know why, it was awful long. He got caught up way back there and run about 16th, 18th spot. He was able to pick him off a little bit. The caution helped him, got him up here, and he's up to 7th right now. So keep an eye on Tommy.
He pit again on that last caution too, didn't he?
No, he only pitted at lap 55.
Oh.
So he's on the same set as everybody else up there, but he's probably been able to save, and that's not what he wants to see in front of him. Boy, you don't want to see that. That was close.
Eric Arnold's got to pump the brakes again. Mystery machine.
Well, that'll wake you up as a driver. You see a car in front of you going sideways. That's Mike Kelly. It was sideways, and they're battling hard. That's 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th place spot right there.
Yeah, what we got? That's just inside the top 10 now. Maybe it's moving up a couple positions.
Yeah.
These guys are slinging it around, though. Tommy Ryan he's got a quick car, though. Obviously, he was up there with the leaders earlier, had that off-the-pace pit stop, though, on pit road during that first caution when everyone was down there. Yeah. So we know he can compete, but is he going to be able to get up there?
He's working over Josh Parker, who's up in 5th right now. Trey's not pulling away from the field. You look right here, Justin Fuller. So, I mean, Trey's out there. He's not too far. He's about 3/10. So they've kept him. Again, Trey could be, since we know everybody's got to go a long distance, these guys might not be pushing these cars very, very hard. Knowing that, hey, look, we're going to try to make it an 80 lap distance here. So we definitely don't want to go out there and just, blister the tires and then by the end of the run, be dead in the water. Tommy Ryan moving through the field, and that might be the reason why he's moving up here. So you might see your top runners here kind of taking it easy.
I'm kind of right there with you. It looks like Eric Arnold right there just keeps having to check up a little bit. He gets a good run off of 1 and 2, coming into 3 and 4 off that backstretch. But looks like Josh kind of slides down in front of Tommy, and so does Eric Arnold right there. Always like that mystery machine car he's got there. Looks like he's always right up with someone.
He is. So Eric has a Scooby machine. Hey, John. Don't get caught in a traffic jam. Yeah, you don't want to get in a traffic jam. That's bad. It's been kind of this way on these starts until they kind of get spread out a little bit. And it's kind of like when, again, we go back to that reference of intermediate track. That's usually how 1.5 miles are. Starts, everybody's packed up, racing for position, and then they, if it goes long, they get, spread out. And kind of how this place is, because most short tracks, usually you start seeing, packs or guys, split off from each other real quick. But here, it does run like a 1.5 mile track. It's crazy.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's kind of hard to really compare it to Michigan. I mean, obviously Michigan's longer, definitely.
It's 2 miles too. You can put 2 of these in it.
Higher banking too. I think we're close to 20 degrees at Michigan or something.
Something like that. Yeah, but you can put 2 of these tracks in Michigan.
I mean, you could. But they sling around the same way. These guys are just hauling it.
Yeah, they are. Doing good.
But I think those guys up front, just like you said, I think they are being a little more preservative with those tires, especially if our assumptions are correct. That's a word I was looking for earlier, assumption.
Assumption. Okay.
Assumption. I was talking about Justin Fuller and his tire, and his being wide open tire management. Assumption was a word. But I think those guys are kind of just hanging out. Here's Jose again.
Yeah, he's got front end damage out there. It's really going to affect that car. Unfortunate on his end because he had a good run. Going on up front right there. EJ, got caught up in that. He's back there in 12th. He'll probably see if he can't get up there. It looks like a little damage on the front nose. See Mike Kelly right there in 8th place. So still really most of your battling's right around here, around about the 4th, 5th place spot. See David Comstock right there in the front working on with Eric Arnold. You talking about Eric Arnold? Got the Scooby machine rolling. He's looking for snacks out there.
Some Scooby snacks.
Scooby snacks.
Kind of want to hit on what John just said there on the YouTube.
Yeah.
I believe that Texas,
the home
also
of the players
is
and pimps.
a D-shaped oval style race track.
Oh, sure.
I'm actually trying to get over to the race this year.
Texas and Charlotte are mimicked after each other.
Yeah, they're one and the same almost.
Yeah, they're almost mimicked the built almost like each other. Las Vegas or Auto Club, one of those, not the new Auto Club junk that they're making, but original Auto Club, mimicked after almost like what Michigan was also.
So this thing I was reading earlier, I just pulled it back up again for D-shaped ovals. Iowa, the one we're at right now, actually the most pronounced of them in this little article I was reading. Michigan, Texas World Speedway, and then they bring up Richmond too. But obviously Richmond is a 3/4 mile D-shaped oval, but I mean it races different, doesn't got quite the same feel as this track has, I don't think. I can see it, but I don't think it's as pronounced as some of those other tracks that was listed.
Right. Well, still a good battle here. You got Eric hanging on with David Comstock right there on him. Trying to see what he can do as laps are winding down in this one.
Yeah, and like you said, too, just looking up in front of him when we pan out, you're not seeing Trey run away kind of like he did. Neither is Justin Fuller. Justin Fuller was out there, but they reeled him in kind of quick, actually, earlier in that first green flag run, I'll say. They reeled him in pretty good, but I think that's what Trey's kind of doing, and Justin as well, is trying to manage those tires a little bit better and let these guys kind of race behind them and wear them out, and then just kind of sail away as the laps wind down.
Absolutely. And you do see David right there on his back tail along with Eric, and you look right behind them and you've got Tommy Ryan trying to come through that field. He's up to 7th. He's working over Josh Parker right now.
Yeah, right in front of them they got Chad Coleman too. So Tommy Ryan's been trying to get the best of Josh Parker. Wow, I'd say pretty much since the green flag waved for this run. But Josh Parker is a relentless individual. From everything I've seen, he's going to make you work for it right here, like you see. See if Tommy's got it. Here, it looks like he does.
He made the pass look pretty easy.
Yeah. Ran that thing pretty good. Now, Josh Parker's still right there, though. He's like, up. Have I given up yet? Definitely not. Mike Kelly now coming in on the inside of Josh Parker. Let's see what he can do, because he's been flirting with that top 10 earlier. Now he's climbing up a little bit.
Parker's got some damage on that car, so that might be hindering him a little bit. See that left fender?
Yes, sir, he do.
I wonder why it looked like he was slowing up, because he was coming through the field earlier, so maybe that's the reason why now we're seeing it. There's a little bit of damage. And you see Mike Kelly also.
Definitely could. Wow, I was going to say flaunt, but that was a complete wrong word. Looks like Tommy Ryan's working over Chad Coleman right there, getting on the inside of him. See if he can make this pass. Looks like he does. Yeah, he looks quick, man.
You see Comstock up there trying to work over Arnold. He's been doing that the last several laps. You know, Edson out front there with Fuller, but Tommy Ryan coming through the field. Remember, he was up front earlier. Just got messed up on one of the pit stops.
And now he's got to claw his way back up to the front.
He does.
He's doing it. Top 5 right now. See if he can make up some ground on these guys. Looks like he is kind of closing a little bit here as the laps keep going. But this battle's heating up back here with Mike Kelly, Josh Parker. Looks like Robbie G's coming in.
It is.
A little bit.
Got Kelly going to go down on the inside there. Probably going to take that spot away from Parker. Or try to. Parker's going to try to defend him off as much as he can. He's got that preferred line. And you see Gillenwater right there on his outside. Kelly dives down, a little pinching him down the low line. It's going to stop his momentum.
Yeah, like I was saying, Josh Parker's going to make it. He's going to make you get that position from him. He's going to make you take it.
Oh, yeah, Josh Parker, you're right there, John. I mean, Josh, even with the damage, he's a fast car. I mean, the thing about it is this track here seems like it's really momentum-oriented. As fast as it is, being a short track like it is, draft could play a factor here. I mean, you could tell it might be hindering the handling of the car. Because Josh was coming through the field early in the race. Now it just seems like it's just not wanting to perform like it was. Scott Simley's on pit road though.
Ooh, good old Scott Smiley. But yeah, I think he's with Josh Parker talking about that little bit of damage he's got. I mean, he's still able to fight for some of these positions. I mean, here he is, still in the top 10. Still rolling with them. He just doesn't seem to be as quick as he was earlier on, because like we all saw, he was cruising through. Watching
now here's going to be a good we talked about tires. Eric Arnold, just noticed he pitted on lap 65. Everybody else there in front of him pitted at lap 55. Well, he is on 10 lap newer tires. Lap times, he's running about what the leader is, but he's been able to pick him off. Let's see what he runs this time by, because he had to pass David Comstock right there to get in third place. Get clean air right now, so let's see what he looks like. Excuse me. He ran a 25.92 to, 25.90s up front. So, I mean, he's running what the leader's running. Your top three guys are right there. So, even with those tires, it's not benefiting him yet. And that's what we talked about earlier. So, I don't know if, I mean, we still got, another 30-some laps to go. I don't know if they will benefit him as the run goes on. You see David Comstock, he has other plans.
So I think one of two things happened. Eric Arnold used up that 10 extra laps to gain the positions that he did.
True.
Or now he's just kind of in preserving mode, and then he's going to pump up the heat a little bit as we got, I don't know, what, 10 laps to go. Probably where he's sitting, I'd say 15. But I think one of those two things is kind of where he's at right now.
True, and you're right. Yeah, John, man, I appreciate it, man. I think you're right. You know, it's got to be one of those. Yeah, I didn't even think about when I was talking about it. He could have used those tires up trying to get to where he was, and that's a very valid point. You know, and that's another thing, like with Tommy Ryan coming to the field. Eventually, he might fall off. He's running about the same time the leaders are. Could have used up a lot trying to get to where he's at. That's kind of a fine line. Do you use everything up you got, try to get up there and hope that it works out, or try to be a little conservative and then run out of time? It's kind of a double-edged sword.
Yeah, it definitely is. I don't know exactly. We'll see how it plays out with Eric Arnold. I mean, he's got some space in front of him that needs to be made up if he's going to use those 10-lap newer tires.
Good run here. So we got Mike Kelly on the back end, Josh Parker, Robert Gillenwater, Steve Ritter there. Again, back at that 10th place spot.
Never ceases to amaze me.
I love that spot, man.
That's what I'm saying. It's just, I don't know how it just keeps rolling. I don't know how it keeps playing like that, though. Looks like Mike Kelly might have actually got some good ground on Josh Parker going into 3 and 4 that time. Let's see if he can get it done this time. It looks like Josh is like, nah, we ain't ready for that yet. Looks like Mike Kelly's trying to pounce on it. See what he can get done. Now it looks like he does. Yeah. There he goes. That was a long battle. That was, wow.
Yeah, look at Josh all over the back end of him. And who was that? That's Steve Ritter? Now, Steve just pitted. Well, no, he pitted at lap 55, so my bad.
I think it was Scott Simley who pitted.
Who was that coming through the field there? That is, yeah, Scott Simley, that's right. and Scott. So now, I mean, here's the thing though. Steely only ran a 25.40. I mean, which is, you know, faster, but this is not. I just don't think that the 4 tires are beneficial here.
I think
not
Scott
enough to
Simley's
come
still
through. Not enough to come through the field, anyways.
I think he's still a lap down.
He is. That's what I'm saying. So he's got to go lap and then come, you know, back and just. Yeah. And look at Trey Edson walking away. He's got about almost 2-second lead.
Yeah, he is just cruising that thing. I like that car. I really like how that car looks.
Nice paint job.
It is. Valvoline. Nice red. He is just walking away. He's just like, oh, we're just here for a little stroll through the park. Stroll through the park about 30 miles away from Des Moines, Iowa, here at Iowa Speedway.
Yep. And a battle back here. David Comstock. Well, that's actually that's Scott Simley. But Eric Arnold hanging on the third. Comstock right there. Tommy Ryan's been able to pull up just a little bit. And we go behind him back here, and that's right 10th place spot again. Ritter, Gillenwater, Parker.
Okay, here we go. Looking at Scott Simley compared to the 60 lap ago tires compared to Scott Simley's newer tires. Now you can see the difference. It's kind of what you were.
Well, and true, you can. I mean, obviously there is a speed difference. I mean, he ran a 25.25 to a 25.98, so he's not quite a second faster, but he's fast enough that you're definitely going to see a huge difference. The problem is what we were talking about before, the fall off of those tires. By the time he makes it back around, he's going to have such a fall off on those tires that I think now it kind of answers our question from earlier. Will they last like normally they last on some tracks? Here, I mean, because the longer he goes, the more his time's going to fall. But Trey Edson's times really aren't going to fall drastically from what he is now. So maybe they'll even out. And pretty much Scott's just going to run out of time. But, you know, he's only at 21 laps, and he still would have to make it around the whole field.
Yeah, that's a huge task. It's not happening. I'm not going to say I guess it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
No, I mean, if it says green, no, it's not. I mean, now, if you got a caution, got him back on the lead lap now, and got maybe a few breaks here and there, maybe. But I think with only 20 to go, he needs probably 40, 50 laps. See Josh Parker go a little bit high right there and allow Steve Ritter to go up under him. Once again, it's that 10th place spot.
Yeah, I think he kind of knows he might now be really feeling that damage a little bit, especially once the tires are falling off. I think he's now realizing that he's not as strong as some of these guys coming through. So he's doing his due diligence to still race hard, but still know when it's time to cut the rope.
Oh, Steve Ritter drove that thing in a turn there. Almost drove up into Gillenwater.
Yeah, that battle around that 10th place spot's still going hard.
That's right, Martin. You're right there, John. Yeah, 10th place. I mean, it's actually 8th, 9th, and 10th. See, back there, Josh hanging on to 10th place. Got EJ pulling in on him, and in front of them, you got Mike Kelly for 6th and 7th. So that's a cluster right there.
And then they got a world
lap car. Oh, I don't know what happened there. Josh Parker Had to avoid a car, got up into Gillenwater. Gillenwater got up into the wall, just, wrong place, wrong time. Wow. And then up front here, we got a battle. Tommy Ryan has caught Comstock in him and Eric Arnold. Wow.
David Comstock and Eric Arnold have been going at it for quite a while now. And now I think Tommy Ryan's like, oh, yep, my time to shine. Let's see if I can get through these guys, get around them, and see what we can get going.
And you can still see that battle back there behind them. It's Mike Kelly, Chad Coleman, Steve Ritter. It's 6th, 7th, and 8th place spot. So you got little battles happening all over the track here right now.
Whoa! Chad Coleman diving it down right in front of Steve Ritter right there.
It's a good racing throughout the field.
Yeah, you see, I mean, we've seen it the whole race, man. We've battles throughout the field. And that we see that a lot here with this group of guys and all that. And I mean, I think it's pretty exciting most of the time.
Oh yeah, me too.
You see a bunch of different stuff going on the track, and keeps us guessing. Now we're 3 wide with the lap car.
Yeah, you've got that's Steve Ritter right there down low. Chad Coleman up high. That's a solid battle there for 7th and 8th. EJ's coming in the mix. Fortunately, Josh Parker hanging on at 10th, but he's falling off pace. It's a good battle here. We'll go back up here and see what's happening with David Comstock. He is still tearing up the back bumper. Eric Arnold, he wants that 3rd place spot. And in the meantime, he's got to contest with Tommy Ryan behind him.
I think that, too, helped Tommy catch up a little bit. David Comstock kind of eating at that bumper. And
11 to go in there, John. It goes fast on a short track.
But let's see if Tommy can get up here with these guys. We're about to go 10 laps to go. See what he can get going.
See Trey, he's just got a huge lead, about 4, almost 5 seconds over Justin Fuller, who's right there, and Eric, though. But Eric's feeling the heat here by David Comstock, and I think Tommy's sitting here going, I want to get up here and battle with these guys, but I don't want to get up here in case they get into each other and get in a mess. So, let's see. Here comes Comstock. The inside. He's dirt tracking.
Woo, step sliding away.
I think Tommy right there had to let up just a little bit, or he might have got in the back of Comstock.
Yeah, I think he did too. I gave Eric Arnold a little bit of breathing room here. Not too much, but some.
Got 8 to go. Maybe 7 when they cross the line here. We're here at Iowa here tonight. Sim500 Ford Entertainment Group Xfinity Series. Got looking for a good PC? Check out the Ford Entertainment Group. Jeffrey Ford over there, get you hooked up. It's a good solid racing. We only had 2 cautions out here tonight.
Yeah, and they were pretty close together, so like you say, cautions breed cautions, but then again, we've had these long green flag runs too.
So what's
we got it all.
Yeah, we've had them good long green flags, cautions, and everything else. So the 6th, 7th place, you see Steve Ritter, Mike Kelly right there, and Josh Parker still hanging on to 10th. He's got a little bit of cushion between him and Gillenwater, so he might be okay. Actually, might be able to get up there to Chad Coleman. Let's see. I don't know. Has David Comstock got enough time to get back up there and get around old Eric?
I think the battle now is going to be with Tommy and David.
Yeah, I think Comstock has used up those tires. He's they're sliding all over the place, and I'm with you on that. I think Tommy. And you see Tommy's using every bit of the track he can, just can't get up there.
Yeah, I think he's probably just like Oh, looks like that was really close to the wall, if not just scraping it barely for David Comstock right there. But Tommy, I think, is just trying to find any way to just get that little edge over David.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's quite found it exactly yet.
Yeah, I think those guys are kind of splitting up now just a little bit. I think tires are just falling off. EJ back here trying to work over Steve Ritter and Chad Coleman. Actually, that's Mike Kelly.
Yeah, he's up in the mix. I think we got ourselves a three-way battle for 6th.
We do. Well, I tell you what, Trey Essen he's moved out of Dodge.
He is gone. He's in another zip code already.
Got almost a 12-second lead over Justin. I wonder if Justin's saving. Because that lead was only, 5, 6 seconds? About 5 seconds a minute ago, and then now it's 12 seconds. Let me go up here. I think Justin Fuller is just cruising that car because Eric Arnold's catching him. I wonder how close they are on fuel. White flag, which really wouldn't matter at this point, but yeah, that's huge. And you see Trey Edson. Trey Edson got a 4. He's going to win it.
Yeah, that is a massive lead right there.
Here comes Fuller. Second, Eric Arnold's going to hang on to 3rd. Good finish between these guys, man, here tonight.
Oh, looks like Tommy Ryan made that pass.
Yeah, he made it. He got up to 4th. Nice.
Heck yeah.
It's a good finish between these guys. That's a good run. Good run.
Pretty dominant race there by Trey. Definitely.
Absolutely.
The guy was like, oh, this is my race to win. I'm going to start on the pole and start up front, finish up front. Screw. He's going to
burn them down.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if we can get a couple of these guys up here and get a word with them. Have to wait till they come into. None of these guys are in here, so we'll have to wait till they jump up in here.
Nevertheless, definitely had some good battles here in this race tonight. Definitely, like I said, a dominant performance here by Trey up front. Goodness gracious, that guy was just on another level tonight.
And we're waiting for him to jump in here. They want to get talked to. Well, there's Eric.
Yeah, he's the only one I see.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Trey. Trey just hopped up.
Okay, there's Trey. All right, we'll bring up 3rd place man, Eric. Let's get a word with him.
Hey, Eric, it's Alex up at the booth. You got me?
Yeah.
Hey, man, so those newer tires helped you out a little bit, what'd you say?
Oh, just a little bit. Just enough to get me to 3rd and hold off David for, 50, 60 laps.
Dude, yeah, you guys were battling for a long time, man. Did you think he was ever going to catch up to you and make that pass or no?
I thought for sure he'd eventually get me. You're using the bumper. I don't know what happened in the last 5 laps. I think the lap car got him off his rhythm, and I was able just to get enough of a pull away enough to get that 3rd place.
Heck yeah, man, making it work, taking that Scooby machine up there. But, man, did you use up most of your tires coming through the field like you did, or were you slowing up to kind of try and save once you got into third place, or kind of roll me through what happened with that?
I just found my rhythm. The top, or David and Trey and I think Justin, they were definitely faster than me. I was not good on the long run here. I just found my rhythm, trying to maintain my tires, but I just really wasn't that fast. This strategy got me up there. It was a lot of fun racing, and good racing with David there.
Yeah, man, like I said, you guys were going at it for quite a while. Definitely some excitement, especially when Tommy got up in the mix, man. We were like, oh, what's going to happen here?
I didn't even know he was there. I was so distracted by David.
Well, you still made it work out pretty good, man. Anybody you want to give a shout out to or thank for this third place finish here at Iowa tonight, man?
Well, gotta thank those tires, but no, I've been around Sim500 a long time, and it's finally nice to be back up and get a podium finish. But I think Joey, and I know a lot of the guys devote a lot of time to this league, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
Heck yeah, man. Well, definitely had some exciting racing there tonight. Saw you slicing and dicing through those guys, getting up to that third place spot, and then the never-ending battle there with David Comstock, making it an exciting race for us here up in the booth and everyone watching. Definitely. Congratulations, your third place finish. Looking forward to talking to you again, man.
Yep, thank you.
There we go. Like I said, third place man, Eric Arnold, coming up here doing good. Well, this guy here, no secret he don't have any speed, but pulls it out in second. Justin Fuller tonight here.
Hey, Justin, it's Alex up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, man. So you got a pretty quick car going around tonight. Looks like Trey had a really quick car. So you jumped out to the lead early. He caught back up. You kind of maintained where you were. Kind of roll me through kind of your steps of the race, trying to get back up there and contend.
I don't know. I really like this track, and I've always been really good here. Mainly when the bottom was the preferred line to go. Tonight the line was kind of all over the place, so I just couldn't find it. And Trey is a master at saving tires, and his tire wear was immaculate compared to mine, and I just didn't have the long run pace to keep up with him. I tried different things to try and maintain the tire wear, and just couldn't do it. So second place is about where I should have finished, and I'm just gonna have to accept it. Trey doesn't like this place. I'm sure he'll tell you all about that when you talk to him. So you wouldn't know it by looking at the way he ran, but it is what it is. I'm happy with the second. Got some good reps in for tomorrow night.
Absolutely, and I mean, definitely helps, like you said, getting those repetitions in for the race tomorrow night. You said you're pretty good here. You were slinging it around tonight, man. Definitely, like you said, coming in that second place finish. So Joe calls you. I'm going to add the Mr. to it, but he says you're Mr. Wide Open. Is that kind of how you race?
I mean, I definitely race hard. So, I mean, I guess he can call me that if you want. So,
I mean, we see it.
That's what I mean by it is Justin Fuller races a lot harder than a lot of guys on the track. When you're really wide, I call him Mr. Wide Open. Kind of just go one speed, wide open a lot. So.
I try to maintain the same energy from the start of the race to the end of the race.
Yeah.
Basically,
You've heard me say that many a times, man.
Oh yeah.
Well, it seems like you definitely make it work pretty well, like you said, coming in second place again tonight here at Iowa. Anybody you want to give a shout out to or thank for it, man?
Yeah, thanks Sim500, all the admins for what they do. Thank Ford Entertainment Group for sponsoring the league, or sponsoring the series. My apologies. Thank you guys for putting on the broadcast. Everybody that watched, everybody in the race tonight. One caution. I know it's kind of a small field, but one caution is still nothing to shake a stick at. So good job to everybody on that. Congrats to Trey, my teammate, on the win. Thank all my teammates also at Aftermath Motorsports. I don't really have a sponsor on this car, but I have personal comfort with Scott Stenzel, better price. So if you're looking for better pillow or bed sheets, anything like that, check them out. And we'll. I don't know where the series goes next week. Probably gonna
Chicagoland.
Chicago. I might run Chicago. I do like Chicago. If not, I do think Watkins Glen's coming up on the schedule, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe not.
I think so.
Nope, actually it's not. I'm looking at it right now. So,
okay.
I might run Chicago. If not, you'll definitely see me at the next 3 races after that: Indianapolis, Bristol, and Daytona. So, we'll see. I really like Chicago too, but those 3 tracks are pretty fun to run. So, yeah, just had a good time tonight, and thanks you guys for putting on the broadcast.
Heck yeah, man. Well, congratulations again. Second place finish. Looking forward to talking to you soon, my dude.
Thanks.
There we go. Like I say, man, fast man Justin Fuller right there doing what he needs to do all the time, getting it up front. Let's get out here, Trey Edson, put it in the victory lane. Trey, you waiting in the booth? Got a copy?
Hey, man.
Well, I tell you what, I got to ask, man. Look, somebody said you don't like this place.
No, it's my least favorite track on the whole iRacing service, at least oval-wise.
Well, by the performance, it doesn't look that way. But, I mean, I got to go through now. That was a long time on the same set of tires. There at the end, I mean, were you saving some, trying to make it towards the end of this race?
Once I got out, I don't really know what happened. I wasn't paying much attention out back, but I felt like Fuller was only a second back, and then I blinked, and he was like 5 seconds back. So I would say saving. I was just trying to, easy in and straight off and not really try to make the tires mad. And then I was kind of screwing around with lines to see which one I could run the best lap in. So, like Fuller was sitting there running, I don't remember the second bracket, maybe 26 twos or threes at the end. And I'm like, well, I just ran a 25.8. And, he's like, well, F you. But I found a line in the bottom of 3 and 4. It was kind of his Fuller's line at the start of the race. But then we kind of all moved away from that. And then I don't know if the dynamic surface mess still works or if lines get hot and cold like they did a few years ago. But I was going by one of the lap cars, and I just kind of entered really low and rolled the white line all the way around and then jumped in the gas. And the lap wasn't too bad. So I was like, well, let me run that and without a lap car there. And it was like a tenth faster than I had ran in the middle group. So I ran that a few laps and just kind of looked on the relative, and EJ's back there screaming contact, and they're wrecking, and so-and-so's hitting so-and-so, and I'm just like, please God, can I get to the white flag? So that was my main goal.
Oh yeah, I mean, you definitely had a huge lead out there and had this place figured out. This place actually acts like it's a bigger track than what it is, but it is a short track. But hey, you came out here, dominated tonight, put it in the victory lane for the Sim500 Ford Entertainment Group Xfinity Series. You got anybody you want to thank for an awesome night of racing?
No, there's no sponsors on this thing. I think it's only my 3rd start of the year, so at least in the Sunday series. So just thanks to you guys for taking time out of your lives to broadcast our league, and thanks to Joey and all the admins and sponsors at Sim500 that put all the effort in here to give us a chance to come out here and kind of have fun for a few hours. As I've grown older, I just kind of look at this thing as you kind of get on here to get away from your everyday life. So thanks to him for put together a league that we're able to do that.
Oh, absolutely. Like I say, man, and y'all guys put on some great racing out there week in and week out as always. Again, congratulations on that win there, Trey.
Thanks, Joe. There
we go, Trey Edson putting in victory lane, and what a race it was, man, for these guys here, Alex. So, any final words on this one?
Not really, man. Just a super exciting race. I mean, Trey, apparently not the biggest fan of this place, but making it look like he is. Definitely some hard racing tonight. Always love to see it. Not too many cautions here. Great group of guys. And bunch of fun. So that's all I got, man.
I'll tell you what, as always, on myself here at Sim500, everyone, have a good night.